Chapter 10, Oscillators and Contrary Opinion. The oscillator is extremely useful in non-trending markets. Oscillator is extremely useful in non-trending markets. The oscillator becomes an extremely valuable by alerting trader to short-term market extremes. By alerting trader to short-term market extremes, commonly referred to as overbought and oversold conditions, oscillators can signal that a trend may be nearing completion or by displaying certain divergence. Divergence means change in uh, difference in two indicators. The reader should also be aware that there are times when oscillators are more useful than others. For example, near the beginning of important moves, oscillator analysis isn't that helpful and can be even misleading. Towards the end of market moves, however, oscillators become extremely valuable. As a general rule, when the oscillator reaches an extreme value in either the upper or lower end of band, this suggests that the current price move may have gone too far too fast and due to correction or consolidation of some type. First, the oscillator is most useful when its value branches an extreme reading near the upper or lower of end of its boundaries. The market is said to be overbought when it is near upper extreme and oversold when it is near lower extreme. This warns that the price trend is overextended and vulnerable. Second, a divergence between the oscillator and the price action when oscillator is an extreme position is usually important warning. Third, the crossing of zero or midpoint line can be important trading signal in direction of price trend. The 10-day momentum line fluctuates around the zero line. Reading too far above the zero line are over readings too far above the zero line are overbought, while values too far below the line are oversold. Momentum should be used in conjunction with the trend of market. So this is a 10-day momentum. Momentum is basically a difference between uh, difference or it is a volatility. So we will discuss about it later. So let us concentrate on figure right now. The 10-day momentum line fluctuates around the zero line. This is a 10-day momentum line and it fluctuates around the zero line. Readings too far above the zero line are overbought. Readings too far above zero line are overbought and values too far below the line are oversold. So these are oversold. These are oversold values. Momentum should be used in conjunction with trend of market. So momentum should be used in conjunction with trend of market. So this is a trend of market and momentum should be used along with it. Momentum measures the velocity of price changes as opposed to actual price level themselves. To construct 10-day momentum line, to construct a 10-day momentum line, simply uh, measure the closing price one day ago from the closing price. This positive or negative value can to construct 10-day momentum line, simply measure the closing price 10 day ago from the last closing point. To construct a 10-day momentum line, simply measure the closing price 10 day ago from the last closing price. This positive or negative value is plotted around a zero line. The formula for momentum is M is equal to V minus V raised to X, where V is the latest closing price and Vx is the closing price of X days ago. a comparison of 10 and 40-day momentum lines. The longer version is more helpful in catching major market turns. So this is a 10-day momentum line and this is a 40-day momentum line. This is a comparison of 10 and 40-day momentum lines. The longer version is more helpful in catching the major market turns. Longer version is more helpful in catching longer market turns. If the latest closing price is greater than that of a 10-day ago, in other words, prices have moved higher, then a positive value would be plotted above the zero line. If the latest close is below the close the 10 days, prices have declined, then negative value is plotted below the zero line. If the latest closing price is greater than that of 10 days ago, latest closing price is greater than that of 10 days ago, in other words, prices have moved higher, then a positive value would be plotted above zero line. So this is a zero line in 10 days momentum line. So it is a difference of V minus Vx. That means difference of this is current price and this is Vx means price closing price of 10th day, uh, 10th uh, 10th day in the past. Closing price of 10th day in past, this is Vx and this is V is current closing price or latest price. So this is 10-day momentum line is so this is a plus condition where latest closing price is greater than 10 days ago. In other words, prices have moved higher, then a positive value would be plotted above zero line. If latest close is below 10 day earlier, prices have declined, then a negative value is plotted below zero line. The shorter time period, such as a 5 days, produces a more sensitive line with more pronounced oscillators. A longer number of days, such as 40 days, result in much smoother line in which oscillator swings are less volatile. Momentum measures rate of ascent or descent. If prices are rising and momentum line is above the zero line and rising, this means that uptrend is accelerating. If prices are rising and momentum line is above the zero line, that means uptrend is accelerating. As momentum continues to drop further below the zero line, then the downtrend gains its momentum. Closing above zero line would be a buy signal and closing below zero line a sell signal. Oscillator analysis should not be used as excuse to trade against the prevailing market trends. Buy position should be only taken on crossing above zero line and if market is trending up. Short position should be taken on crossing below zero line only if price is taking down. Some traders regard a crossing above zero line as buy signal and crossing below the line as sell signal. See circles. Some traders refer this passing above zero line as buy signal and crossing below zero line is sell signal. See circles. So these are circles. This is crossing above zero line. This is crossing below zero line. Moving average is helpful to confirm trend changes. Moving average is helpful to confirm. This is a 80-day moving average. This is helpful to confirm trend changes. The momentum line peaked before the price. So this is about figure. Then the momentum line peaked before the price. The need for an upper and lower boundary. Draw horizontal lines along its upper and lower boundaries. Measuring rate of change. To measure the rate of change, a ratio is constructed of most recent closing price to a price certain number of days in the past. Rate of change is equal to 100 into V upon Vx, where V is latest closing price and Vx closing price of X days ago. In this case, 100 line becomes the midpoint line if the latest price is higher than price 10 days ago and the resulting rate of change value will be above 100. If the last close price is 10 day ago, the ratio would be 100. So this is basically momentum indicator in terms of, this is basically a momentum indicator, but it is in terms of so ROC is a basically momentum indicators, but it is in terms of percentage, that is 100%. Constructing an oscillator using two moving averages. So ROC is rate of change, so it is per 100%. Per 100% means per 100. So V is latest closing price, V is closing price of X days ago. So this is a ratio for I think this is a ratio for V upon Vx is a ratio for um, current closing price versus previous X days closing price. So this is a rate of change. So it is rate means it is a rate of how price is changing. So it is per 100. Constructing an oscillator using two moving averages. The crossing of shorter average above or below the longer average registered buy and sell signals respectively. So this is a double crossover. The histogram line measures the difference between the two moving averages. Crossing above and below the zero line gives buy and sell signals, see arrows. Notice that histogram turns well before actual signals, see circles. So histogram, notice that the histogram turns well before the actual signals, see circles. So histogram turns well before actual signals. So this is actual signal given, and histogram is turning before that. So here also histogram is turning before this price. So this is a change in uh, prices. So it is now declining, and here we can sell. So here we can sell. So histogram turns before the price. A histogram measuring the difference between 10 and 50-day average. So this is a histogram which is measuring difference between 10 and 50-day average. The histogram always turns well before the zero line crossover. In an uptrend, the histogram will support the zero line and turns up again. The histogram plotting the difference between two weekly averages. The histogram turned the direction of new price trend weeks before the actual line zero line crossing on histogram. Notice how easily the overbought and oversold levels are seen. So this is a histogram. This is a overbought level. This is a oversold level. This is a overbought level. Commodity channel index. In construction of commodity channel index, Donald R. Lambert compares the price with a moving average over a selected time span, usually 20 days. He then normalizes those oscillator values by using divisor based on mean deviation. As a result, the CCI fluctuates in a constant range from 100 on upside to -100 on downside. Lambert recommended long position in those markets with values over +100. Markets with CCI values below 100 minus 100 were candidates for short sales. Used in that fashion, readings over plus 100 are considered overbought and under 100 are oversold. So this was commodity channel index. A 20-day commodity channel index. The original intent of this indicator was to buy moves above 100 and sell moves below 0 as shown in the figure. So we should buy here and we should sell here. Relative Strength Index RSI was developed by J. Wallace Wilder Jr. and presented in his 1978 book. As Wilder points out, one of the two major problems in constructing a momentum line using price differences is the erratic movements often caused by sharp changes in values being dropped off. A sharp advance or decline 10 days ago in case of 10 days momentum line can cause sudden shifts in momentum line even if current prices show a little change. The RSI formula not only provides the necessary smoothing but also solves the latter problem by creating constant vertical range 0 to 100. Relative strength generally measures a ratio line comparing two different entities. Formula is calculated as follows. RSI is equal to 100 minus 100 upon 1 plus RS. So this is average of x days up closes divided by average of x days down closes. To find the average up value, the total points gained on up days during 14 days and divide that total by 14. So this is average of days up closes, that is averages of green candles. So it is so those green candles for a period say of 200 EMA is calculated. So all the green candles will be calculated of their up closes will be calculated, and it will be divided by down closes, average of down closes. To find the average down value, add the total number of points lost during the down days and divide that by 14. Relative strength RS is then determined by dividing the up average by down average. The time period is lengthened to make the oscillator smoother and narrower in amplitude. The amplitude in 9-day oscillator is therefore greater than original 14-day. The 14-day relative strength index becomes overbought over 70 and oversold below 30. This chart shows the S&P 100 being oversold in October and overbought during February. The 14-day relative strength index becomes overbought over 70 and oversold below 30. This chart shows the S&P 100 being oversold in October and overbought during February. So this is overbought during February, this is oversold during October. The amplitude of RSI line can be widened by shortening the time period. Notice that the 7-day RSI reaches the outer extremes more frequently than the 14-day RSI. That makes the 7-day RSI more useful to short-term traders. So this is RSI at overbought and this is oversold RSI. Interpreting RSI, movements above 70 are considered to be overbought, and while an oversold condition would be move under 30. Because of shifting that takes place in bull and bear markets, the 80 level usually becomes the overbought level in bull markets and 20 levels the oversold level in bear markets. Failure swings, as Wilder calls them, occur when RSI is above 70 and or under 30. A bottom failure swing occurs when RSI is in downtrend under 30. A bottom failure swing in the RSI line. The second RSI through point 2 is higher than the first point 1 while it is below 30 and prices are still falling. The upside penetration of RSI peak 3 is a signals a bottom. So this is a bottom failure swing. A bottom failure swing in RSI line. The second RSI trough, the point 2. So point 2 is a second RSI trough. So this is a first RSI trough. This is a second RSI trough, which is point 2, is higher than the first point A. That means this is lower, 1 is lower than 2. So we can say that upside while it is below 30 and prices are still falling. While it is below 30, prices are still falling. The upside penetration of RSI peak 3 signals a bottom. Upside penetration RSI peak 3 signals a bottom. A top failure swing. The second peak, so this is a top failure swing. Second peak 2 is lower than the first, while RSI line is over 70 and prices are still rallying. RSI price is over 70 and prices are still rallying. The break by the RSI line below the middle trough point 3. The break by RSI line follow the middle trough, this is point 3, signals the top. Trend lines work very effectively on RSI line. The breaking of two RSI trend lines gave timely buy and sell signals on this chart. See arrows. Trend lines work very effectively to RSI line. The breaking of two RSI trend line gave timely buy and sell signals on this chart. In strong uptrends, overbought markets can stay overbought for some time. Just because oscillator has moved into upper region is not a reason enough to liquidate a long position. The 50 level is RSI midpoint value and will often act as support during pullbacks and resistance during bounces. Some traders treat RSI crossing above and below 50 level as buying and selling signals respectively. Stochastics KD. The stochastic oscillator was popularized by George Lane, president of investment educators INC Vatseka IL. Two lines are used in stochastic process, the %K line and %D line. The %D line is more important and is one that provides the major signals. To determine the line which is more sensitive of two, the formula is %K 100 into C minus L14 upon H14 minus L14, where C is the latest close. So this is a latest close and L14 is the lowest low for the last 14 periods. This is lowest low for the last 14 periods and H14 is the highest high for the same 14 periods. H14 is highest high for the same 14 periods. 14 periods can refer to days, weeks or months. The formula simply measures the formula simply uh, the formula simply measured on a percentage basis of 100, where the closing price is in relation to the total price range for a selected time period. A very high reading, cover 80, would put the closing price near the top of market, while a low reading under 20 near the bottom of the range. The second line %D is a 3-period moving average of %K line. This formula produces a version called fast stochastic. By taking another 3-period average of %D A smoother version called slow stochastic is computed. Most traders use the slow stochastic because of its reliable signals. So this is a percent D line, which is a 3 period EMA of percent D line. So which is a 3 period EMA of SMA of percent K line. Bearish divergence occurs when a D line is over 80 and forms two declining peaks while prices continue to move higher. A bullish divergence is present when D line is under 20 and forms two rising bottoms while prices continue to move lower. The stochastic oscillator can be used on weekly, monthly charts for a longer range perspective. The down arrow shows two sell signals which occur when faster percent K line crosses below the slower percent D line from above 80 level. The percent K line crossing above percent D line below 20 is a buy signal. So when percent K line crosses below percent D line, then it is a buy signal, and uh, so this is a buy signal when it crosses above the percent D line. Percent K line crosses above percent D line, buy signal, and this is a sell signal when it crosses below D line. Turns in the 14-week stochastic from above 18 and below 20. Nice job of anticipating major turns in treasury bond market. Stochastic charts can be constructed for 14 days, 14 weeks, 14 months. So this is a treasury bond market. So this is a weekly bar chart. So this was overbought zone, this is oversold zone. So it did pretty well. So at this point it gave profit, then at this point it gave profit, at this point also it gave profit, at this point also it gave profit, at this point it gave profit. So this was a treasury bond chart. So this is also a treasury bond chart. A comparison of the 14-week RSI and stochastics. The RSI line is less volatile and reaches extreme less frequently than stochastic. The best signals occur when both oscillators are in overbought or oversold territory. So this is a RSI line. So these are combined now. So this is a given uh, buy signal here. This is also giving buy signal here. Here this is giving sell signal. Here also this is giving sell signal. So these are combined now, RSI and stochastic. Larry William oscillator. Larry William oscillator is inversion of stochastic actually. So instead of percent K, the percent R line is used. So it is same, but we will read it. Larry Williams percent R is based on a similar concept of measuring the latest close in relation to price range over the given number of days. Today's close is subtracted from price high of the range for a given number of days, and that difference is divided by total range for the same period. The percent R is subtracted from high. It looks like an upside down stochastics. So it looks like upside down stochastic. So most charting software, they invert this oscillator and present it. So this is figure. Larry Williams percentile oscillator is used in the same fashion as other oscillators. Reading over 80 and 20 are identify markets extremes. So these are two readings which are indicating market extremes. So it is similar to that of stochastic oscillator. Choice of time periods tied to cycles. Oscillator lengths can be tied to underlying market cycles. A time period of half the cycle length is used. Popular time inputs are 5, 10, 20 days based on calendar days of 14, 20, 28 and 56 days. Wilder's RSI uses 14 days, which is half of 28. We discuss some reasons why the number 5, 10 and 20 keep cropping up in moving average and oscillator formulations. So we won't repeat them here. Suffice it to mention here that the 28 calendar days, 20 trading days, represent an important dominant monthly trading cycle, and that the other numbers are related harmonically to monthly cycle. Because both price and oscillators are moving sideways, they look very much alike. At some point, however, a price breakout occurs and a new uptrend or downtrend begins. Give less attention to oscillator in early stages of an important move, but pay close attention to its signals as the move reaches maturity. Moving average convergence divergence, MACD. The faster lines called MACD is basically consist of, it is a double crossover method of using two moving averages. The faster line, called the MACD line, is the difference between the two exponentially smoothened moving average of closing prices, usually 2 and 26 days or week. The slower line is called the signal line. Slower line, called the signal line, is usually period exponential smoothened average or MACD line. A crossing by faster MACD line above the slower line is a buy signal. So usually the most of the charting softwares use last 2 and 26 days or week. So this is a difference between two so it is like a histogram, which is a difference between two moving averages. A crossing by faster MACD line above slower signal line is a buy signal. A crossing by faster line below the slower line is sell signal. In that sense, MACD resembles a dual moving average crossover method. An overbought condition is present when lines are too far above the zero line. An oversold condition is present when lines are too far below the zero line. The best buy signals are given when prices are well below the zero line. Crossing above and below the zero line are another way to generate buy and sell signals respectively. The moving average convergent divergence system shows two lines. A signal is given when faster MACD line crosses the slower signal line. The arrows show 5 trading signals on this chart with the Nasdaq Composite Index. So moving average convergent divergence MACD line. So this is generating a sell signal, this is generating a sell signal, this is generating a buy signal. A negative or a bearish divergence exists when MACD lines are well above the zero line, overbought and start to weaken while prices continue to trend higher. A positive or bullish divergence exists when MACD lines are well below the zero line, oversold. MACD lines fluctuate around a zero line, giving it quality of an oscillator. The best buy signals occur below the zero line. The best sell signals come from above. Notice the negative divergence given in the October. So this is a MACD line. So here it is giving buy signal. So it is in overbought zone, it is oversold zone. So here it is giving a sell signal, here it is giving a buy signal. MACD line fluctuates around a zero line, giving it quality of an oscillator. So it fluctuates above zero line, giving it quality of an oscillator. When MACD line crosses are positive alignment, faster line over slower, the histogram is above the zero line. Crossing by histogram above and below its zero line coincide with actual MACD crossover buy and sell signals. So this is an MACD histogram. The MACD histogram plots the difference between the two MACD lines. Signals are given on the zero line crossings. Notice that histogram turns earlier than crossover signals, giving the trader some advance warnings. This is a MACD histogram. This is a MACD histogram. Combine weeklies and dailies. As with all technical indicators, signals on weekly charts are always more important than those on daily charts. The best way to combine them is to use weekly signals to determine market direction and the daily signals to fine-tune entry and exit points. A daily signal is followed only when it agrees with the weekly signal. Used in that fashion, the weekly signals become trend filters for daily signals. Contrary opinion, although it is generally listed under the category of technical analysis, is more applied to aptly described as form of psychological analysis. The principle of contrary opinion holds that when a vast majority of people agree on anything, they are generally wrong. A true contrarian, therefore, will try to uh, determine the majority what are doing and will act opposite direction. These numbers are opposite direction. So uh, assume that a speculator reads his or her favorite newsletter and becomes convinced that a market is about to move substantially higher. The more bullish the forecast, the more aggressively that trader will approach the market. Once that individual speculators fund are fully committed to that particular market. However, he or she is overbought, meaning there are no more funds to commit to the market. Expanding this situation to include all market participants. If 80 to 90% of market traders are bullish on market, it is assumed that they have already taken their market position. Who is left to buy or push the market higher? Then this then is one of the key understandings of contrary opinion. Contrary opinion measures strong versus weak hands. A second feature of this philosophy is its ability to compare strong versus weak hands. Future trading is a zero-sum game. For every long there is a short. However, it is generally advisable to await a change in trend of numbers before taking action against a trade. Breaking of support and resistance levels, trend lines or moving averages can be utilized to help confirm that uh, confirm that the trend is in fact turning.